guess I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit. Let me put zero bill. I'm not gonna be like, I'll talk to you guys straight to the point. So, as you know, I'm in the jewelry business or whatnot. I know a lot of people probably ask me, did I choose the jewelry business because of money? I wouldn't say I chose it for money, and I'm being truthful. I choose the opportunity to travel because, like, where I'm from, this, that, and the third, people, you know, see the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't got the passport, so I don't think I'm better than anybody or anything like that. Honestly, how I think is, especially with like business and then like jewelry business, some people scam artists from a standpoint. They try to pass stuff to consumers, and then I feel like people need to change that up. One of the main things that kind of I focused on with jewelry, in a sense, is who you're going to and what you're shopping, your actual value that you're getting. Like the pawn business, I've done a little bit of pawn stuff. I don't like it. That's my whole business. I have a problem with the lease pawn business, that problem. But it's not personal. I think the people who are bad with money and then the economy being the way it is, you're gonna lose. 9 times out of 10. Honestly speaking, the place where I used to work at, they were fair. They get cut people breaks. They wouldn't sell people stuff right away, but I saw a majority of the people, they were either bad with money or they just, I don't know, they always would pawn the same items in there, and it wouldn't even be that much. There'll be someone pawning like $40. Like, what are you pawning $40 for? But that's not my problem. You know, I try not to dwell there. You know, people got their own stuff, people got their own issues. Everybody got their own issues, we deal with them. But it is what it is. But let's go. The thing I didn't like about pawn business, in my honest opinion, is the rate. 164%. Paying like 164% interest, that's criminal. And then sometimes, depending on what it is, once it got to $1,000, it was like 100 and something, at least 100%. And one time we had this lady come in to the store where I used to work at, and she sold her camera or whatnot, and I had to basically explain how the stuff worked. She was just trying to sell the stuff so she can get into a place with her boyfriend or whatnot. And what I found interesting about that, in my honest opinion, is like, you know, when you're dealing with jewelry, this, that, and the third, not just jewelry, but cameras and whatnot, me personally, I would never be put in a position where I'm selling my literal business asset for the value, exchange for money, and then paying on top of that. Like, you know, obviously stuff happens, you know, you got to have a collateral security deposit. You don't make spur decision moments like that. That's just my honest opinion, and I would never do something like that. And the way rent and stuff is going nowadays, everywhere, nah. I'll be honest with you guys, nah. Like, I know someone that I used to, like, know to a certain extent. I don't really talk to him that much anymore. I don't really see him. Last time I saw him, it's kind of incognito, but that's the point. I don't got no problem with the person, this, that, and the third, but, yeah, they didn't know I was there. I saw them, they didn't see me, got a mask on, but that's the point. What I'm about to say, yeah, they were going in there just to buy some stuff or whatnot, like a cheap watch or whatnot. I think that was cool, I guess, but besides that, the place where this person used to live at, they basically got priced out of their own area. So a developer basically knocked down the dwelling where this person was at And before this place was a piece of crap, they had gang members, they had drugs, they had certain stuff you wouldn't want to be there past a certain hour at night. And then because the development is changing, which I kind of like to a certain extent, but I just don't like what they're doing or whatnot, because pretty soon a lot of places are going to become unaffordable, and then people are getting, I wouldn't necessarily pushed out, but a lot of stuff is because of hype. Like, a lot of people be jumping at, you know, money, but at the same time, you have to realize we're all part of a broader agenda to a certain extent. Like, if someone is never seen money, in a sense, and they sell, like, I say a half acre of land for, they got 300,000, but what a person's going to do is they're going to slap 2 homes up in there and make basically a market value, raise the property and the value around it by a lot. You basically got fooled, but a lot of people wouldn't know that. A lot of people wouldn't know that, because the place where this lady used to live at, man, they put like a 3,000 square foot home and it's worth $1.1 million. So honestly speaking, to me that's sickening. And also too, that's just, at the end of the day, it shows you how, in a sense, you know, a lot of stuff is changing. And, you know, honestly speaking, once you're in rent or whatnot, everybody's not supposed to be a homeowner. Homeownership is, you know, is expensive. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. Homeownership is expensive. Would I own a home? Sure. But I'd rather build than basically buy, because you have more control of certain stuff. Porta bunker. But yeah, me personally, I think that business and then all this real estate stuff is a scam. I know someone was talking about how these rents, a lot of people moved out from New York. They're no longer doing it. They're paying these rent, and how it's gonna cost. Oh shit! How is actually gonna cost actual taxpayers and certain people money? Like New York has a probably occupancy rate of, like, with this stuff, or vacancy rate of like close to 50%, because a lot of people move to Florida and different other places for a tax haven, and a lot of these places are losing people. California, namely, they're losing a lot of people. Even Florida's becoming too expensive. So a lot of this influx of money, people are, I mean, everybody's getting sold out, in my honest opinion, left and right. But the thing about it, to be more logical about it, is to accept the fact that, you know, honestly, with the way the market's going and the debt ceiling being the way it is, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, unfortunately. A lot of people are not going to be able to afford things. Like, you know, someone's making, let's say, $75,000. You can do something. Where I live, $75,000 is good. In order to live, it's like, I'll probably say 43. Live comfortably, 43. But even still there, you might want a roommate. But again, roommates are not for everybody, you know. I fight people have different lifestyle things. Person stuck at. Wow, this person suck ass too. I just happened to die. But like, yeah, back to what I'm saying in terms of, like, you know, going to school and trying to become a gemologist. Honestly, I just want to travel. That's all I want to do, pretty much. Past that, I think, you know, in the near future, I want to, like, at least try. I mean, I'll still give back to causes and certain stuff that, you know, speaks to me. Do what I can, this, that, and the third. But yeah, everybody's a consumer. Everybody's a consumer. Honestly, in business and in life, I feel like the worst thing you can do is pass something off to somebody. Like, some people are dishonest from the jump, and then you pass the cost off to you. So, like, for instance, in the pawn business, there's someone saying they don't know how long something's going to sit. That's a selling point. I agree to a certain extent. You don't want to get something that's bad. You want to get something of value. But honestly speaking, some of these people, they just bite the bait. They want the money now. So if someone has something that's like, the market value. Like, someone came in when I was working at a place, they had their tag for your watch. They were a manager at, a luxury car dealership, like, Rolls Royce, Alfa Romeo, one of those two. And they came in and they were pawn their watch and whatnot. I don't know what issues or whatnot the person had. I don't really get into that. Everybody got their problems, but I won't be pawning my watch. I'll tell you that. I think, being a manager or certain stuff like that, honestly speaking, depending on what it is, you might cap out. Like, you literally might cap out. Like, I know a person, like, I was in college, like, my dean, he was with a company, like a food and beverage company or whatnot, and, I guess he got tired of corporate politics, and, he just wound up, he went back to school or whatnot, but he was kind of a veteran, and he had marketing campaigns. The thing about jobs, in my opinion, I know a lot of people will talk about jobs, this, that, and the third, but being in marketing meetings or meetings with people and the characteristics of people in a traditional sense, and then I want to say people are getting blamed, but I think it's also the company's fault, their direction. Sometimes you might have insight, but a lot of people want to be idiots and they want to go and spend money on certain stuff that, is detrimental to the company and then detrimental to the jobs at stake. And then people put their blood, sweat, and tears in, they basically get let go. That's not their fault, but again, you can't put your eggs in like a basket for that many things, and always have your, I guess, kind of guard up in a sense. That's a valuable lesson. Yeah. So how I view business, in my opinion, business is strictly business to business and business to consumer. Like Pepsi or Coke, in my honest opinion, they're going to have their bottling and then they're going to have their actual stuff. Someone might actually go and have their own bottling company and they might have a contract. It may not even be Coke, but they'll have their stuff. Just like Coke in Brazil or whatever they have, they're not going to use high fructose corn syrup. They're not going to use stuff from America. They're going to invest in these people with sugar cane or sugar plantations who've been known to do this stuff and make their stuff a little bit different how they make it here. It's like vertical integration. I took international business and we had to do studies on that, whatnot, and how to market. Like Pepsi in India is not called Pepsi. It's called Thumbs Up. You can search it up. It's the same thing, has the same bottling, a certain same logo in a sense, just with the thumbs. It's blue and red, and it's a thing of thumbs. So, I mean, I've had a Thumbs Up maybe within the last, like, 3 years. I think it was 3 or 4 years, yeah. I think it was so it is what it is. Would I get it? Would I pay probably exorbitant price, like $3 or $4 for it again? No, it's not really that worth it. But people can make their own like company off that stuff that people can't get. I'm gonna leave this live become like the land spot, but it is what it is. But back to jewelry, I guess, like, someone was asking me about, like, jewelry, what I saw at the place I go to school at, GIA. There's a lot of Indian people there. I'm cool with that. They have good food. That's for sure. And how I view that, I feel like it's cool. You get experience about jewelry. I just showed something I feel like that was difficult in a sense. I like what I do. I can look at diamonds and certain stuff. I know certain people getting scammed. Like, I can know somebody getting scammed. Like, if you ever really want to, like, if you trust your jeweler in a sense, or you need to ask questions. Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell anybody before they make a diamond purchase, please go and ask for a microscope if they have it. I'm not talking about no little cheap microscope. It's like a good microscope is between $5,000 and $10,000. I know how to use it. I just recently learned how to use it. I never even touched a microscope to look at jewelry like that before. The only thing I maybe had used is a loop, but honestly, a loop is not that good. If you really want to look at how fine and the details in a diamond, you gotta use a $5,000 to a $10,000 microscope. And then the thing too, it's not even the most expensive thing. This machine, it's like $35,000. And honestly speaking, with that's steep. That's steep. But since I'm what I'm about to become, I mean, it may be smart, but then again, you can't necessarily tell all the stuff. Like diamonds and stuff could be shit. Like someone could sell somebody a fracture filled diamond, and that's ass. That means it has durability problems. Like if someone that tell you that a diamond is fracture filled, you basically got fucked out of your money. Excuse my language. Like, you know, I was in this class with this dude. He had said that person had told him to, he was buying like a lot of chocolate diamonds. And they were chocolate diamond rings, like brown colored diamonds. And the fracture field, they basically covered it with a mountain. And basically, they're going to pass it off to the consumer, not tell them that. And I mean, that's dishonest business. We don't do that. Because honestly, when your integrity is on the line like that, you're trying to get money off people and pass it to the consumer, it's kind of a scumbag thing to do. And me personally, I don't think, you know, you should walk with integrity, what you say and what you do. That's always number one. Integrity and honesty is worth more than $1, and they go hand in hand. But that's neither here or there. You know, you just have to be smart. And I've been doing the math on these people. When they buy these pieces, these people getting ripped off. They don't know it. So probably like with the jewelry stuff, like with the diamonds and then the gold. Gold, last time I checked, was like $63 per gram or something like that. If it's not 100% pure, if someone charged to crack you upside the head, even jewelers themselves who they're getting their gold supply from, they might be getting ripped off. Like if someone is paying $2 more per gram, how pure it is, that's a lot of money. That is a whole lot of money. And naturally, when you think about money and then $2 over a period of time, you keep on re-upping, it's better buying bulk. But someone's getting stuff $3 less than you and you're paying the same thing, people don't have a rapport with you, yeah, you won't be in business long. But then again, I realize that's why some people, they have to be smart and just buy gold jewelry off of people and melt it down. And certain people like pawn business, I know the thing, the formula is like plus or minus 70. And depending on how fair people are, you know, the place I was at, they were pretty fair. Like one time a guy came in, he had like, he had a little gold, I guess, earring or something like that. The price was like $72 at the time. We gave him 62, so he didn't get ripped off. That was pretty fair. But the thing I don't like about pawing, a lot of people gotta have a lot of cash. That's not necessarily an easy thing to get in, and they're not the average person. Like, one time, there was a person that came in, they bought in a fake AP Royal Oak. I forgot which one, it was all gold. I looked at the price of it, I said it's 100. I knew the price of it. I look at watches quite, like pretty much religiously. Look at the price, know the price of it. But, number one, I knew it wasn't real. Two, it was the weight. Two, it was the logo and everything about it. And the person wanted $7,000 for it. $7,000, no box, no papers, no nothing. And then another person came in and tried to sell it. Said they had a police officer, somebody take a look at it or whatnot. The stuff came back clean, but it wasn't real. So that's why I don't necessarily like it. The thing about jewelry business too, honestly, you gotta be safe. You know, you have to have somebody definitely packing heat. Not necessarily saying that, you know, you want to hurt people, nothing like that, because that, you know, but you gotta be safe. I think paying it back to the community in some way, you know, not taking away from the hood or something, like investing or putting in, you know, like a foundation or a place that helps out. That's key, in my opinion. I know a lot of people, they'll try to be focusing on the Korean junks or, like, you know, the stores that are profitable, black people support, and people not putting no money back in the community. I'm not hostile towards anybody, really, at all. I feel like there's some truth to certain stuff, but, like, you know, we have to be reasonable here in terms of, like, there's certain stuff, like, I know there's a lot of stereotypes and a lot of stuff, and that's pretty bad for a variety of reasons. And that's not good. To be listening to stereotypes. But besides the point, honestly speaking, like, if we had to think about, I guess, jewelry and certain stuff like that, there's a lot of places, like, LA has a Chinatown. I was watching this dude. This guy was Asian and whatnot. He had his own jewelry thing. I respect that. He had a Richard Mille RM88, the Tourbillon Smiley. I think retails to like $1.1 million over retail, and then now the market value is like $2.8 million. Honestly speaking, if a jewelry place has that type of stuff, it needs to be in a secure spot. That needs to be at a bank. That don't need to be inside the store. Like, someone asked me, I was in California, like, about coming up on, a week ago. A week and some change. Like a week and 2 days. I was looking at jewelry stores. Luckily, I was at a nice side of town. You know, it was pretty chill. I know they definitely had some robberies there, because I'll be searching up the stuff. Honestly, people need to keep their employees safe. I know people have the alarm and panic system in place, but still, honestly speaking, it's best to comply with people. You know, don't fight back. The stuff can be replaced. Insurance, this, that, the third, but, you know, fighting back and trying to be the hero, not smart. It's not smart. And then depending on a variety of factors, Yeah, depending on the variety of factors too. Like, you know, I know a lot of places the same setup is everywhere. They spread stuff out so the losses and certain stuff won't be tremendous. But I know New York is a little bit crazy. Um, like I wish the news and media would stop showing people getting like, you know, up to the scene of certain stuff. Like there was this bodega dude that was working, and the suspect went and shot the guy in the head. The guy complied and everything. The guy shot him in the head, but New York didn't get the guy for like a week. And what's crazy. This guy's a coward. Going back to what I was saying, they didn't get this guy for like a week, but the guy was still driving the same moped. I mean, New York has the thing where they have, what could I say, cameras, a lot of places, so people not necessarily going to get away, but they do. I think that's scary, and then New York is not, again, a place. I don't live in no major city. I'll tell you that right now. I do not live in no major city. But yeah, the guy had gotten murdered or whatnot, and the person that got away for a week, pretty much still wearing like the same type of baggy clothes. He wore a hazmat suit, and they didn't get this guy for a week. And the guy had committed other crimes. This nigga get off my nuts. Oh, I hate this shit. I didn't even see that guy coming, and it is what it is. But yeah, with business and how I view certain stuff, especially with jewelry, I feel like, you know, the price point is the price. To me, to be honest, sometimes it's best to shop people. Like, I know there's this one place, I think it's pretty good, it's in California, it's called Happy Jewelry. They got good prices. Like, they had this Cuban link that's worth like $8,000, and then the price was like, the average market price like $11,000, but they were giving people at a deal. I mean, that's pretty fair. Like, let me focus on something like in terms like business too, like with the way things are going. Like, how can I put this, man? Like, I remember this guy, I know he has like a business or something like that, And he goes out to these places that, like, I don't know, before the companies will have this, like, outlet center, but he's basically became the outlet center because he's going and he's buying up all the home appliances, so you basically have to come to him. And he's making like $200 per pop because you can't go to the home appliance stores, like pretty much any place. Like you think about it, like Lowe's, any place you can think of. It sells home appliances, like a fridge, all this type of stuff. And then they try to hit people side the head for delivery, and then it is what it is. Genius concept, but then again, it's kind of fucked up. Fuck. Damn. I really choose this dude so long or whatnot. I basically lost basically a majority of my ammo and health. But at the end of the day, as long as I got that elimination, I'm good. You know, the interesting thing too that I found out, like, I realized a lot of people that are jumping ship from companies left and right. Like, I know this person tried to recruit me for this job, and I searched them up here recently, and they were gone from this company, and they were doing like HR stuff, and I'm just like, you know, that's mad interesting. Like, you know, I'm not saying anybody has to stay at a job, this, that, and the third, but I realized by having people up under people for any reason, this, that, and the third. An organization is only as good as people who are subordinate, in a sense. And then the managers. That's the one thing I realize about companies. Like, you know, if a person is treating people like shit, in a sense, and people are steady coming to work, and me, I really like that, for one. And then two, like, you know, I feel like, you know, the service industry, I was gonna tell somebody about that. Like, you know, the people, they treat these people no better than a washcloth, and then wonder why nobody's working or trying to come back to that type of thing. Pretty much anything, whether it be bussing tables down, even to, you know, people being valets. Some people treat people like shit, and they just expect, you know, to get a top tier service. And honestly speaking, it's best not to, you know, even engage going back and forth with some of these people. It's just, you know, quite frankly speaking, it's one of those things where, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say having tough skin, but it's also about, you know, assessing and just evaluating the opportunity costs or whatnot, or just certain things. Like, who cares if someone's getting, $200 a day in tips and they have to be around people, and who knows they're getting $200? Like, there could be a place, it could be the nicest place in terms of looks, but the actual employees are getting treated like shit. That's not cool. And then people are getting their tips and stuff stolen because places are doing pool tips. But man, when I think about the pandemic and certain stuff like that, they basically need people left and right. They were getting people hiring bonuses or whatnot. People had to stay for like 3 weeks, $500. People was gone. And people saying people not going back to work. I mean, honestly speaking, the economy runs on people being exploited to a certain extent. Like Amazon, I would never work for Amazon. Even though I have a business degree and, I'm specialized in, colored stones to a certain extent, not fully. My mom was there, colored stones and diamonds, based on fully certified in diamonds. Amazon is not a place I would consider to be a work-life balance. That shit the fuck up out of here. I got a charged shotgun. Wow. That's back. But yeah, the way I view companies and certain like Amazon is paying bills, but if you think about it, the risk of injury is high. People can get concussed. People can have certain stuff go on. If you work a factory job, in a sense, if you lose the ability to move or write, or the ability to just do anything, your moneymaker is your body. I don't value money over, my safety and well-being. Bills and stuff have to be paid. That's exploitative, like, in my opinion. You work in, 14 hours, you can't even piss. And, you just basically are at the whim of other people, in a sense. That's not necessarily a good thing. But that's neither here or there. People had to have their bills paid. But again, with the rising cost to live, Amazon's making the money. They're not really paying any taxes at all. I mean, they're basically paying people's bills to a certain extent, but this depends. People don't got side hustles. I know this guy I like watching on YouTube. He's he basically said he worked 3 jobs. He basically said, people are broke. That's a them problem. Yeah, I know this guy. I knew that guy was after me. That was bullshit. From start to finish. My God. Man, I'll get back to what I'm saying. Like Amazon, you know, I feel like it's decent for what it is, but again, unless people working your way in the organization to something, and then people got a high school diploma, I'm not laughing about that. You know, I feel like you should be able to, but I don't think people are getting to a manager role. Working harder in an organization, you know, obviously, yeah, your subordinates. And the thing goes worker, high skill worker, high output. I mean, they might take care of a few people, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the case for everybody. Like, I used to be a high worker or whatnot at my last job or whatnot, and I basically left because it wasn't safe anymore. In a sense, I almost got paralyzed. So I basically left that. You know, I went to the place the other day, you know, just in passing to get some food, you know, some water and whatnot. But past that, nah, I got no ill will against the place or whatnot. But I guess the people that come in there, they, it's a different story. And honestly, places, you know, that I think I just try to normally stay around, like not necessarily stay around it, but not be around it too long, or want to be near it, is, you know, the smoke shop places, because those places, people blasting the music, they're going 55 miles an hour to 70 miles an hour or whatnot, just driving crazy, like a bat out of hell or something like that, and, you know, flooring it, just go to a smoke shop. And honestly, that's pretty sad in my opinion that, you know, a business like that could be, well, everybody got their own vice and whatnot, but I just hate the fact that, you know, babies and certain stuff could be running and playing around. I feel like babies and certain stuff should have the ability to play around. But when you got something like that, not necessarily kids should be playing in the street, but kids is just running and certain stuff like that. They get hit by a car, they're not coming back from that. You know, they get injured or something like that, broken bones, the quality of life is basically gone for. They can't do nothing. Not necessarily saying it's the smoke shop fault, because it's the people and everything around the area, what is going on. You know, we all got to make, I guess, the best of our environment, this, that, and the third. Go from there, but I see that as considered as bad. And then another thing, too, is just like, you know, when you just be outside, you know, you just go out and, you know, it's a normal day. You know, I feel like, you know, the black community, I feel like we pride ourselves on certain stuff, but if there's something that happens to a certain extent, like it's bad, you know, people gonna be hush-hush, and then, you know, there'll be a few people that will go and check on certain stuff, like, it is what it is. And, you know, for lack of better words, it's not, you know, people talking about the no snitching rule, this, that, and the third. Someone's done something bad, like, you know, almost hit someone's child or whatnot, and, you know, cameras and certain stuff, I would hope that someone would at least step up and be like, you know, this person has, you know, done some dangerous behavior, get these people's license pulled and never drive again. That's what I pray for. Because it's unacceptable for these people to be doing the stuff that they're doing. it's either here or there, but like, you know, the middle of the road approach, in my opinion, is that, you know, speed bumps can, I guess, kind of correct the behavior to a certain extent, but I still feel like, you know, people finagle a certain angle still go fast at speed bumps. So, and then too, the black community, in my honest opinion, and depending on the neighborhood or whatnot, people are going to be against putting up speed bumps. But to me, I think speed bumps serve the purpose. It damages people's cars and it makes people slow down and think twice about it. You know, going fast reduces, I guess, collisions, the probability of collisions and certain stuff like that. So that's a positive. But speed bumps can kind of, I would consider them to be put up fast. It just depends on the community. That's something to think about. It can be done. But not necessarily going to here be talking about that. But again, business is business as usual. And honestly speaking, I don't know that many businesses. Like, there was a jewelry business next to a smoke shop. To me, that's just kind of bad. Another thing I'm still thinking about too is just like, you know, the movies. The last movie I went to go see is Little Mermaid. I think it was alright. For what it was worth, I feel like it was decent. Wow, it is consuming ammo. Interesting. Someone probably like, why am I playing Fortnite? To me, Fortnite is the only game I can fathom playing. It's always been there. I've been playing it since I've been like a freshman in college going on. I started playing Fortnite like December 2017. I didn't know how to play it, but you know, I got better. That's my main takeaway. I've really gotten better at it. Then another thing I'm thinking about in terms of like, you know, we're talking about games and cosmetics, and honestly speaking, to me it's just like fashion and it's accessorizing. Same thing with jewelry. All we basically doing is accessorizing and basically going that way. Like 2K, for instance, 2K has a thing with watches and certain stuff brands. 2K is basically partnered with Tissot, and the NBA sponsors Tissot. Like Klay Thompson has a deal with Tissot, but does Klay Thompson wear Tissot? He doesn't. He might post the thing with that he's an official partner, but I think his contract and stuff is loose, where he can still have to do his promotional part, but it does not have to. He doesn't necessarily have to post about TSO and necessarily wear it like that, only like a certain time. I think that's cool. I think TSO could make I feel like they make decent watches for the price point. It's been around for a while. The only brand I could possibly say that's kind of better than TSO is probably Hamilton. So within the same tier range. Price point, I think it's about the same. Quality, I'm going to have to say that pretty much all of it, it does what it needs to do. It's not necessarily cheaply made, and I don't really expect TSO or anything to be made with precious metal. It'll probably cost them too much money. Like, I should be surprised if TSO had a 18 karat gold watch. I wouldn't buy it to a certain extent because of the price, and then two, it won't be able to retain this thing, and then you might wonder if you overpaid. That the gold content, you melt down the watch because you get like at least 75% of your money, depending on what you pay for it. Pre-owned watches are good. That's my honest opinion. I know for bargain or whatnot, if I know I know some things now, but if I had to go off of a few things, I would definitely I'll probably look at some stuff later on tonight. See if they have any 18 karat gold watches that are cheap. Go from there. Like for instance, I feel like, a majority of the time, like with business, in a sense, it don't really matter what we're pretty much talking about here. I'm just talking about business in general. A lot of stuff needs foot traffic, and then a lot of places need clientele. Like for instance, TSO, they don't necessarily have the best retail presence. Like I'm pretty sure you can find them at a department store. But TSO, they don't necessarily need their own flagship store. It'll be smarter for them to actually partner with somebody, have at least a dedicated space, and sell their product that way than to have a flagship store. And then another thing too, I was watching this guy on YouTube. I watched his channel. They were basically saying that there's a place in Montana they could have $40,000 diamond rings, but they don't have Rolex. Like the market's not that big. People can get Rolex. They have a network, but they'll have the diamonds and stuff that's of value, but they don't have a big name brand. And I can understand that. Montana is very rural. It's very mountainous and it's cold. How? Oh my god. I died that quick and that guy was at 40. That makes no sense. Let me check my phone, my alerts. Oh yeah. I might watch this guy. I find him hilarious. He basically hates the watch people, that sell people watches at a ridiculous price. He says the price is dropping. I agree with him, but again, it's not necessarily about how much money people pay. Especially some people, they're just gonna have to learn that, you know, paying more for something is not a flex. I would say a bad investment, a rule of thumb, if you can't realize, you know, or get, I say 85% of your money back for something. Some stuff is a sunk cost, but if you make a large purchase and you're not able to make some money, or at least get 85% of your money back, that's a scam. Well, not necessarily a scam. Like if you were to buy a new car, let's say someone got a promotion, make $150,000 a year, and they decide, you know, they're going to get themselves, let's say, Audi Q7 or something like that. That's like what, 60,000? They're going to have that car for 72 months. They have good credit. I'm going to save $400 a month. Then interest, I'll probably say probably around 5% car insurance. Either way, that's too expensive. That's kind of stupid. Let's say someone goes and does that. They put like 20% down on it, and they pay the car note comes down around like $350, then insurance is possibly around $300. That's still too much money, my honest opinion. And you're doing that for like 60 to 72 months. Not a smart thing. I would say get a pretty, I'd say, decent car. Maybe depending on how like much people drive and then the miles. Try to get something with at least halfway decent miles, like 60,000 miles or something like that. And not something with 100,000. I mean, you can find a deal. But if you really want something fairly new, it's probably going to have little to any miles left on it, like 15 to 20,000. That's kind of one of those things you have to think about. might go and play a few more of. I might try to watch the game. Yeah, I might try to play another. I'd say 30 minutes. I talk to you guys a little bit more. Me personally, what I think about the NBA right now, people say I think Joel Embiid is. I feel like he's good, but the 76ers are just terrible. Doc Rivers have gotten fired. I don't really think so, but I feel like it has a lot to do with his. No, he'll have a good regular season, but he's always getting eliminated. You might have superstar talent, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have star caliber performances from people, and that's the name of the game. Like LeBron, the craziest thing that I heard from somebody talking about LeBron, that was in California, he's washed. Like, people will remember all the great stuff that, you do, accomplishments, then tear you down in less than a second when something, people, they spent money on it, or there's betting, these people will be sending people all this type of message, you're a bum, you're this and that. LeBron not no bum. If anything, he went off the court. And I'm not necessarily even the biggest LeBron fan like that. I don't dislike LeBron or anything like that, but I'm just not, one of the people who just go to bats with LeBron. LeBron's the best player in the league. I feel like LeBron's the most well-rounded player in the league, but teammate-wise, he chooses the wrong people. And he doesn't have a championship caliber team. He doesn't. If you compare to what he had in the bubble and to what he got now, the pieces that he had back then, like 3 years ago, those people could play to a certain extent, but once you play with LeBron, you're not going to play good. Like Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma was good for like maybe 2 seasons or whatnot, and then when LeBron came, for really a year and a half or a year, and when LeBron came, that's not necessarily on LeBron, but you're not going to be able to score. You're not going to be able to do anything. Like Kevin Love. Kevin Love is not necessarily a scrub, in my opinion. He's a glorified role player now, and he's old. And once you're like what I would say, you're basically, 35, 36, you're not playing ball like that. You're gonna be doing limited minutes. You're gonna accept the role that they're basically given. Like the 5 characteristics of a player that can still play, and I feel like they get discouraged, is they've done all they could, but fairly towards the end of their career or whatnot, they've been minimized. Like for instance, Tracy McGrady. I feel like Vince Carter was one of those people who I feel like he could ball, couldn't necessarily dunk like that. I'm not Vince Carter hater, not like that. People still had at least a little bit of run. JJ Redick, he had a little run to a certain extent. He was good. Jamal Crawford, he could ball, but the role. Then Carmelo Anthony, he was good to a certain extent, but he got basically got the boot for Houston. I didn't agree with that. He wasn't the fault for Houston. It was James Harden. No, that's not going to work. And then what? He had Chris Paul. He only played like 10 games. He was out. And then Carmelo just retired. I feel like Carmelo had a good career. He had a good career. He was like 9th in scoring, if my memory serves me correctly. And honestly speaking, when I feel like people still have the ability to play ball and they get a minimized role, that affects people. I feel like basketball is a mental game. It's always going to be mental. Like, you can't go out there, you're basically sitting on the pine. You can still play to a certain extent. You're not getting the touches that you need. You're not in the spots that you need. You're pretty much getting garbage time. Like, for instance, let's say Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin basically got waived by the Hornets, and he's on the Heat now. And, yeah. I feel like that's pretty good, in my opinion, that it worked out for him and that he's able to play ball. And by him playing ball, in a sense, he's able to get touches. He's able to come off the bench or be like a sixth man, in a sense. He's got his role. He's doing a great job. He's playing both sides of the ball. He's not necessarily being relegated to I would say, a bad team. Not even a contender. It actually worked out better for him that he basically got waived. That was a blessing in disguise. And you go from there. Because you think about it, the doggone Hornets are not going to be able to build a team around LaMelo Ball. If anything, LaMelo Ball won out. Same thing with Zion. Zion, in my opinion, he's a very gifted player. But if you had to ask me what's his number one problem, I would say it's the team he got drafted to. Brandon Ingram is good too for the team, but still, when you think about it, the Pelicans, they start off good. But as time goes on, if you don't have a good backcourt, two people should not be carrying the team. You got CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum, I feel like he's alright. You're not the best. Same thing with Portland. Portland, they got Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard was going off, but his team was terrible. You got Anthony Simmons. You have all these different people. And Anthony Simmons is good, in my opinion. But still, Damian Lillard is pretty much doing the scoring. I feel like you don't have a problem doing the scoring. It's just a problem with the team is that they're not performing at a high enough clip. And then, two, the backcourt sucks. If Damian Lillard is not at least getting 28 a game or whatnot, then the team is going to suffer. And most of the points of scoring is coming from Damian Lillard. Your offense is running through. Same thing with Luka. If your offense is not efficient, your people not getting the spots. Luka has no help. Getting like 34 a game, that's going to be a less than ideal situation for anybody. Like, Luka, in my honest opinion, should not be scoring like 34 points a game. I'm glad he does, and he does all these little acrobatic moves, and, he finishes, and then he step back threes. I appreciate that. His game is very well-rounded, but when you become relegated with doing all this, pretty much all the scoring, honestly, you're not getting any help. I mean, Kyrie, he may be gone this offseason for the Mavs. I'm not even a Mavs fan. That's pretty bad. I'm pretty sure Kyrie didn't want to play for the Mavs, but while we at it, there's pretty much no way to tell how these players and certain stuff are going to adapt to the team. Like, for me, I didn't even figure out that, how can I put it this way? That Porzingis was on the Wizards, same thing with Kuzma. They have all these people that are like 6'9", the team is tall, but the talent is there to a certain extent. They're still going to be unable to, they're just going to be unable to basically get some type of contention. Bradley Beal's still good in my opinion, but he's been with the same team for going on about, 12 seasons. And lack of better words, he had no help for a majority of his career. I mean, John Wall, John Wall, I feel like is good, but it doesn't mean that he's necessarily. He can still play. I'll give him that. But if you have a team that's still terrible, like the Rockets, he didn't play that many minutes, that many games for the Rockets. The Clippers, he showed promise. He got like 6-man, 13 points a game, if my memory serves me correctly. Again, limited minutes, 6-man. I feel like he set the role. It's good he's out there playing basketball, getting paid for what he loves to do. He can still score, but in the long term, I feel like he had his career wasted with talent and what he basically gave. I feel like he had, last time he had a good season, possibly, I'm going to say, I'm really say 8 years ago. John Wall had a good season like 8 years ago. The Wizards were doing good. I say up to, I'm going to say the 2018. And then past that, the Wizards started to kind of go downhill. John Wall was getting maybe 23 points a game. That's pretty solid. All-star, I think. And there's just certain players too. They're not necessarily all-stars, but they can play. Like for instance, Malcolm Brogdon. He's on the Celtics, I believe. He's pretty decent. But I remember when he won Rookie of the Year, and people were mad about that. Honestly speaking, Rookie of the Year is subjective because someone could win Rookie of the Year or be in contention and then they're just not, their career never panned out. Or they got drafted. No sharks? That's crazy. Wow. I'm not gonna go after that dude, whoever that is right there. But yeah, a lot of these players are, I would say, NBA players, depending on the system they're in, they're not necessarily there for the long term, all of it. Like, for instance, someone said that Victor Oladipo, for what I know, from just him playing basketball, he used to be like I would say a 15 points per game player. And now that he's been on the Pacers, Rockets, he's been on so many teams. I think he was on the Thunder at one point. He's not necessarily the one scorer he once used to be. That's not neither here or there. I mean, that's good and bad. He's on a contending team. I'll give it that. But again, you don't necessarily need to relegate scoring. If he got limited minutes, he's playing a little bit. I mean, the Heat, there are so many people. I hate this. This is just toxic. I'll play one more. Because I refuse to like play this. This is just toxic. You get blasted in the... Let's see. It says I'm doing pretty good. I'll play one more for you guys because I'm about to go. 2.33 KD. Let me see if this guy is at it. After this, I'm really planning to get off, watch this game, go on, and go from there. I hope Miami winds up going to the finals, but honestly, I think it's either way, no team that goes against Denver is about to win. That's just a fact. Denver's not going back. And Jokic, I told somebody that Jokic is better than Kawhi. Like, I would say 2 to 3 years ago, people looked at me like I was crazy for saying that, but Jokic has impeccable footwork. That goes without saying. Kawhi, Kawhi is good. He's been a good defender. Playoff series, he necessarily didn't play. So I honestly don't think that he was bad this year. But the Clippers, Paul George, and we had to look at it. Paul George and then this team or squad and the Clippers. Paul George is inconsistent, but he's like a 44% shooting player. So he's not incredibly bad. And he gets like 20, I would say 24.8 a game. So 25 points in my memory, and his averages for the last few years have been around that. So let me see. That guy need to get a life. Yeah, Paul George, yeah. That's about right. 24.3 last year and 23.8. Not far off. $32, 9, and 6 is wow. That man averaged 48%. Then you had Chris Boucher. What did he get? Who said he was a bum? Hopefully this man's like a 76. 79? How is this man a 79 overall? It's almost bogus. I'm looking at some other people's stats, but I'm not going to be before you too much longer. Honestly speaking, the NBA could be a whole lot better than what it is now, at least the teams, but it's about who's spending money. Yeah, I'm going to say that the Heat got this. Jimmy Butler is a good scorer, but if it comes down to center versus center, Jokic versus Bam Adebayo is not going to be close. Impeccable footwork. I would say Bam is 6'9". 6'9" or 6'8", 6'8", 6'9". Like what, 250? Dang. Bam has been playing like a bum. 4-16. Boston, 8-15. 8-15 is not bad, but 4-16 made 27. 20 points and 54% shooting, so he's not necessarily bad. I would say his overall is probably 82. 87, I would definitely disagree with that rating. I would say 84. Big body being, see, I used to be dusty. $540. gonna leave this lobby. I'll play one more for y'all, but I'm gonna try to watch this game. I don't like these landing spots, honestly speaking. I really don't. Let's see, where is Hassan Whiteside? That man was like in Portland, and then he didn't play for a while. I think he was on the Kings, and then he was gone too. But this stream will come to an end soon. But yeah, I think that jewelry and certain stuff like that, it depends on where people at. There's only like I would say there's possibly only like, 3 main jewelry stuff that people are a part of. Like you have JCK, you have the New York Antique Show, you have Florida. That's possibly about it. Well, who shot at me? Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, I was about to say, if I take damage from that, that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm gonna text my friend tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do? Damn. That was alright. Don't know that. Yeah, you ain't killing me though. It is what it is. Peace out.